Godzilla Year Zero. Yo, that motherfucking movie was fire, bro. Fire. I'll tell you straight up. So, this Godzilla, even if you're not a Godzilla fan, you know what I'm saying? You might be like, nah, I don't fuck with King Kong and Godzilla and all that shit. This ain't like the Americanized films. This film is actually Japanese. It comes from a Japanese production company who created it. The whole film is in Japanese, so you will be reading subtitles the whole film. But this film is more or less, I would say it had a hell of a character arc. So the protagonist, this takes us back to about 1945. So this is right after 1945, 1946, right after World War II was over. And it shows a kamikaze pilot who went AWOL. So basically, he went AWOL, he didn't go through his mission, and what happened is he landed on a remote island to get his plane serviced, but there was nothing wrong with his plane. So Godzilla comes, he kills everybody that was there, so that's 10 people. So then he goes back to Tokyo, and I'm just giving y'all the layman's, man. I'm not gonna give you the full shit. So at the time, he was a coward because he dishonored his country. He didn't do the kamikaze shit, right? So then he ends up going back to Tokyo, and Tokyo's in ruins. Like, Tokyo had just been ravished by the Allied forces, America and shit. So Tokyo's in shambles. And it basically goes through the arc of him being a coward to being the number one hero in Japan. Now, I would definitely suggest anybody who loves film, you love cinema, because it's a love story, it's a story of courage, it's a story of a man overcoming his fears to become a very powerful and heroic character at the very end of the film. You don't even have to, it's nothing about this film is like the typical Godzilla film. I rate this shit as a 97, okay? 97. 97 out of 100. Incredible film for me. I'm a big Godzilla fan. You know, I'm not into the whole Marvel character shit. I'm not into all that. I'm not into none of that shit. I like X-Men. X-Men is cool because I used to watch the cartoon when I was a kid. But I'm not into the Marvel characters. So some cats are like into all of that. I like Batman, that's DC. But really when it comes down to like me picking something I really like in the sci-fi realm, it's gonna be space films and it's gonna be Godzilla. And I watched a lot of Godzilla films when I was a kid. So I watched the originals from the 50s and the ones from the 60s. The ones in the 90s were terrible. The ones that came out in the teens were good. But the Godzilla film is the shit. It's the truth. Godzilla Year Zero, Year One. Incredible film. Like I said, it's darker than any other Godzilla film that you would see. So it's not the typical American, make him look like a cartoon. This Godzilla is a gangster. He ravishing, tearing shit up. Motherfucker killed like 20, 30,000 motherfuckers in one scene. It's a wild movie. So if I would suggest, if you're into any kind of films, I would suggest this to anybody. Go check it out. Just know that it's in Japanese, so you will be reading the whole film. So if you one of these motherfuckers that's illiterate, that don't like reading, you know, you one of these dumbasses where only thing you read is memes all day, it's probably ain't the film for you. But if you have no issue with reading and watching, and honestly, like I said, the protagonist did an incredible job, I give this film a 97 out of 100. Let's go tap in.